I'm so pissed off about it with Aliens.
I know.
Broke my fucking heart. And then Ridley Scott did too.
It's been a rough year for that franchise.
It really has. Thank God for my 40th, or not 40th, the Dark Horse anniversaries. In general, though, the comics are better
Okay.
by quite a bit. For one thing, the first six, the artwork is phenomenal. The black and white that they do.
I mean, I imagine just for a franchise like that, where a lot of the horror elements are so visual, that you're doing yourself a disservice by consuming it in any medium that doesn't like convey a story visually. Just
Yeah.
because like the alien designs, and even like the designs of the ships and the planets feel like they contribute a lot to that universe. Like
Yeah.
kind of like I mean, in the same way that I think they do in Star Wars, where a lot of the technology and ships and all that stuff really make the world feel lived in, like that there are
Yes.
actually people who live there. It's
I
not
think that's the
just
case for a lot of sci-fi. There's just something. The visuals help a lot because you can go into so much detail to describe what a ship looks like, but you're still gonna have people like think about it differently.
Mhm.
You're not gonna get the same thing, and how a ship looks, how a ship operates and acts is very important to how the world operates.
Yeah.
That was actually a problem I had with fucking Hunger Games, where she would gloss over a lot of the technology as if it didn't matter. Be like, oh, there's a spaceship or there's a hovercraft or whatever, and
Th-
then not describe anything about it. And it's just like, well, what's it look like? How is it flying? What's it doing? Like, your world feels so non-existent because these little details are not there.
that's a thing that seems to happen fairly often in a lot of young adult literature. And being a young adult when things like The Hunger Games and Maze Runner were coming out, I ended up reading a lot of it, and there are parts about it that I find very interesting. Like, because the first Hunger Games has that whole bit with the first, well, Hunger Games, the first book in the series, has that whole bit with, I don't remember what they call them, but the bugs that are like spliced with robotics, and they have
Yeah,
different animals like that. I'm like, that's really cool, and it seems like an element of the world that would be interesting to know more about. And instead, we get one scene where these killer bees murder somebody, and that's about it.
they were called Tracker Jackers, which is a stupid
Okay, yeah.
name.
I mean, it's kind of goofy. I like the name. I think in something that presents itself as seriously as the Hunger Games does, it feels out of place.
Yeah.
But you know, it's stuff like that that I feel, and I can't remember, but I don't think that those were in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Huh.
mean,
I feel like they were kind of important.
it's been a long time since I've seen the movie, so I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. But that's the type of thing that I would have liked to see explored more in that universe. And I mean, even in other stuff like Maze Runner and stuff like that is fairly weak on that front. And some of the
Sure.
stronger young adult stuff actually delves into the world building a little bit more. Like, I don't know if you ever read Miss Peregrine's Home for Imaginary Children.
No, I got the
Um,
last like 10 minutes of the movie on HBO.
I kind of want to see the movie just because I like, if nothing else, I think that Tim Burton's visual style is really cool. But that's a movie that does a really good job of fleshing out and developing the world in a way that makes the rest of the story more interesting.
Sure.
So, but yeah. Anyways,
It's so weird. I feel like books I've read that are like kids' books can do a better job of that than young adult books. Like Pullman's Dark Materials. I
yeah,
feel like he does a really good job of fleshing out the
I
world.
I don't think those are kids' books. I mean,
I mean, the main character is like 11.
yeah, no, Lyra is not old. I guess, yeah. I
They're
mean,
written, for a lower reading level. I think the concepts are not.
yeah. I mean, conceptually, those books are pretty deep, and also I feel like they deal with some pretty heavy material, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they kill God.
yeah, I know. Like, and that's the thing is, I mean, I read those when I was, I think, must have been early middle school, probably, but I don't know. I don't know how I would classify those. I tend to, I don't really lump those in with young adult, but I think that that's because in my mind, young adult comes with unfair negative connotations for me,
Yeah, I do. I
um,
have that too.
which is kind of a shame because there's good young adult literature out there.
Hmm.
Uh,
I don't like calling it young adult. I just like calling it like literature. You know,
right.
like The Book Thief is a fantastic
Oh, I
book.
love The Book Thief.
And I feel like it just does it a disservice to call it a young adult novel.
Even though it 100% is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's weird.